Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday to all of you. I know it sounds kind of ironic to say happy Sunday when the madness has just begun. Yep, another conflict, and this one is going to be major because I will, at the end of this video, present to you the big picture, the reminder of the big picture one more time. I want to say what I will be presenting to you today because that is quite important. But before I do that, let's just keep in mind that not everything we're going to come across on internet is true. And I have to remind this myself as well, that there will be wars and rumors of wars. So there are images circulating already, some of which are legit and some of which are probably an AI generated image or CGI generated image. So let's keep this in mind because, again, if I make any mistake, please correct me if you come across different news and you believe that is the real news. Today, I want to start this video with presenting to you the situation at the airports, and especially in Dubai and in Bangkok in Thailand, because the chaos in Asia has and in the Middle East has already started as far as the travel goes. And wasn't I absolutely lucky or blessed, and I believe I am protected by the divine, that I came back on a very, very long flight just before all this craziness started. Then we're going to look into a video in which a lady is talking about Netanyahu, who allegedly escaped or was fleeing to Berlin. Imagine, from all of the places he went to Germany. If that is true again, because God only knows, and how many Netanyahus are out there. So real Netanyahu, please stand up, right? Yeah. Now we will also look into China reaction to all of this. Then we jump into the economic side of this, what's going on. And in a sense that many will say this actually is a war with China that Israel and US are performing. So I will present that opinion. I have an opinion that will be addressed later on. Then we're going to look into Erdogan reaction, Turkey. And Turkey also is a threat to a certain tribe. And we're going to hear about this threat, as well as I will present to you what is the big picture, really, in my opinion, to all of it, as a reminder. Then we're going to look into some prophecies from the elders and the saints and what they were saying about the fall of a certain leader and how that will change the world completely. And we will end this video with maybe sense of humor, or this is kind of like a black sense of humor at this point, a parody including Trump. So I ask you kindly for your patience today. I have a lot of links prepared and I will be shifting through all of them, hoping to find the right one to present to you. But before I start, I would like to also introduce to you, if you haven't seen my video yesterday, those of you who have purchased this book, my book for children, number 1. Book number 2 is ready. So if you want to have full set of 5 books, highly recommend you this one. This is great for boys especially. Even though I'm a woman, I love cars. And this is with Ayrton Senna, Formula 1 driver, who is with 2 main characters winning the Grand Prix in Brazil. The link to purchase it is down below the video in the description box. And of course, if you appreciate the content and you value my time and the information, hit the thumbs up, free of charge, and subscribe to my channel and leave the comments and let me know. So let's start with the airport's madness, guys. Let's look into a few airports. So we will look into Dubai and Bangkok, as well as the situation. Actually, maybe let's start with this. This is in Dubai. This is the Fairmont Hotel. that was hit by a missile strike. And where is this located? You know, those of you who have been to Dubai, there is this area of Dubai called the Palm, which has been created, this piece of land, and a lot of very luxurious, expensive hotels are over there. So now let's go to the airports, because things are happening and a lot of people who are traveling are really having hard time at this moment to not only look at the luggage. Let me just play it. This is the luggage situation in the Abu Dhabi airport. Let me just mute myself 1 moment.
वॉर चालू हो गया है 4-5 घंटे से मैं तो एयरपोर्ट पे हूँ। ये अबू धाबी एयरपोर्ट का नजारा है। सब परेशान है, बैगेज ऐसी हालत में है कि पूछो मत। एक एक बेल्ट के ऊपर 5-5, 6-6 फ्लाइटों के बैग आ गए। सब परेशान है ढूंढने में। जुनेद भाई, ये देखो इधर वॉर।
A lot of flights have been cancelled because of what's going on. Now, as I was hearing from people recording those videos, they were saying that the money is not going to be returned for those flights because the war situation. This is the reason. This is Dubai International Airport and Al Maktoum International Airport have suspended all flights operation until further notice. The decision follows regional airspace closures amid escalating tensions after US and Israeli strikes on Iran. Major carriers like Emirates, Fly Dubai, and others have cancelled operations, stranding thousands of passengers. Authorities advise against traveling to the airports and to check airline updates for rebooking or refunds. A lot of those people are not going to get the refunds because, like I said, there is the reason is because it's a war and it's out of returns or something like that. Now let me find this one in Bangkok. Yes, in Thailand as well. And then we go to Netanyahu escaping to Berlin, which is a story is in itself. Let's see if I have this. I think it's this one. Yeah. Is it? No, this is the Dubai. 1 moment, guys. I have so many links open here. Thank you for your patience. But I was actually thinking, wow, even in Thailand, you know, even in Bangkok, do I have it? Or maybe I closed it. 1 moment. I think, let's see. Oh yeah, this one is in Bangkok. You can see it here. Someone said, just landed in Bangkok. Then you see this. You finally land after a long flight, no sleep, stiff body, just want a shower. Then you hit immigration and it looks like this. Welcome to Thailand. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe they are directing those flights to Bangkok. That's interesting. But the chaos has just begun. Now, what is the story with Netanyahu, guys? This lady has recorded this video. If this is legit, well, let's hear it. Where is Netanyahu?
So Netanyahu has officially fled to Germany. I mean, Germany, of all places. The jokes write themselves. The official Israeli state aircraft landed in Berlin, Germany at 8:30 p.m. today after circling Israel for hours looking for a safe place to land. This flight is often used for the continuity of government during crises, by the way. Consider this jet the Israeli Air Force One. Netanyahu was literally fleeing Israel amidst retaliatory attacks from Iran. He could not handle it. The plane was stuck circling over Israeli coastal airspace for several hours before finally leaving Israeli airspace to try to seek refuge in Europe. The jet was seen circling over Greece, and it is alleged that they were refused entry in Cyprus. While the West is sending their children to die in a war that they have absolutely no involvement in, the leader of Israel has fled the country, and to Germany, no less. How about that? So
So again, I don't know if this is the truth or it's not, but if it is, am I surprised? No, I may be surprised that to Germany, but you know, nothing should surprise us anymore at this point. So now let's look at the economic side of it. So power/money, that is one of the explanations for what's going on. I am leaning to a different explanation. Well, that is part of it, but I'm leaning to another big picture, not this one. So let me present to you now this video, which is showing to you how this is going to really affect China. That's what it shows. I don't know if it's going to affect China really, but potentially it could. So let's take a look.
You know, one country falling could shake India, China, and Russia at the same time? That country is Iran, and the map explains everything. Iran quietly supplies 10 to 15% of China's oil, often relabeled through Gulf routes. That's why China signed a 25-year secret energy deal with Tehran. Now imagine this. Iran's regime collapses, and Tehran shifts back under US influence, just like before 1979. Suddenly the US gains leverage over Iranian oil, the Strait of Hormuz, and West Asian choke points. For India, this is dangerous. Iran is India's land bridge to Armenia and Central Asia. If Iran flips, that corridor breaks, and pressure rises around Pakistan and Kashmir. For China, it's an energy trap. Iran gone means most of China's oil sources are indirectly controlled by the US. For Russia, Iran is a southern shield. Lose Iran, lose drones, depth, and regional balance. Iran isn't just a country, it's a domino on the world map. And if it falls, the shockwaves won't stop at its borders. Did you know, one country falling could...
So in a way that makes sense, right? Besides the aspect, and what a great distraction from the Epstein files, that all of those are in it, connected. But I might be wrong, I might be mistaken with the number. What is the percentage of how much oil China gets from Iran? 70% or 80% supplies. I'm not sure if this is the right number, but let's say very high number. So yeah, well, now someone is gonna tell us in this video how this is going to affect the prices, because ultimately everything will go up because of that. So someone is for sure making money on it.
To pay a price very soon for what's happening in the Middle East, literally. Economists are warning that oil prices are about to surge, and that's going to have a knock-on effect on all sorts of goods which rely on fuel to be made or transported, which is most things around the world. So inflation's going to go up too. So Iran controls what's arguably the most important shipping lane in the world. That's the Strait of Hormuz. It's the only way that oil can be transported, not just from Iran, but from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the UAE to the rest of the world. So that's roughly a fifth of the daily global production of oil, 20 million barrels a day. At the moment, oil tankers are reporting they can't get through because of what's happening, and we have no idea when it's going to be safe for them to travel down that waterway and continue supplying oil to the world, and prices will keep going up until they can. The world is going to pay a price very soon for what's happening in the Middle East, literally.
And of course, we know, even those of us who are not an experts in finance or economy, It's just the common sense, isn't it? So it's not just industrial military complex that's making money. And many other so-called investors in this project as well. They're going to make huge money on it, everyone, from the prices rising from regular people. Now, let's hear from Catherine Austin Fitz, who was the guest for the second time on Tucker Carlson's show. The short clip is presenting her version about the reasons for this conflict. So let's take a listen. Just give me a moment. Thank you for your patience, guys, today. So now let me mute myself. And she will tell us what she believes is the reason why US and Israel are now attacking Iran.
If you go back to 9/11, and when Wesley Clark said we're gonna invade 7 countries in 5 years, what you were talking about were the countries where those central banks were not on board to do programmable money. And their governance structures were not on board with essentially, because of Epstein, I'll call it the Rockefeller Rothschild model. There was an effort to say, okay, we're going to basically assert control of the central banks in those countries. That's my interpretation. And I think one of the reasons we're seeing so much tension around Iran is because Iran right now is the big leakage in the system.
How?
So
it's not about their nukes?
No. So, Iran's central bank counts. One of the reasons it counts is because their oil and energy is very important, including for China.
Yeah.
And that's very important in the BRICS system. What the BRICS system is trying to do is to create independent payment systems. But if you're going to come out with programmable money, with digital IDs that are interoperable globally and programmable money that controls in each jurisdiction centrally, you can't afford leakage. If you go back to 9/11,
So that was Catherine Austin Fitz's explanation. You can watch the full interview on Tucker Carlson's channel. Now, let me take you to this clip. Here, you're going to hear from China. China is reacting to all of it. So let's see what is China's reaction to this conflict with Iran.
China has just sent a message to America. This is very important because the world's waking up and they're seeing exactly what we, the American people, are seeing. Check out this tweet. The United States is a war addict. Throughout its 240-year history, it has been at war for all but of 16 years. The U.S. has over 800 overseas military bases in 80 different countries and regions. The U.S. is the main cause of international disorder, global turbulence, and regional instability. I mean, that's just fucking crazy to think about. The United States government has been at war all over the world. In the last 240 years, we have only not been at war for 16 years. 16 years out of our country's entire existence. We have 80 military bases all around the world, and we're supposed to be keeping the world safe. We have created more chaos, death, and destruction than any country in all of human history. And it is time that the rest of the world decouple from the United States. It's what we've been warning you about. We've been telling you to relentlessly stack Bitcoin. We've been telling you.
Okay, this is not about Bitcoin, but I think he's maybe not aware that it's not really Americans who run the country, but the tribe that starts with the Z, And again, I don't want to talk about this too deeply on this channel, because those videos are only on Patreon and locals, as you know. Even though I will present to you the big picture today, again, the tribe has the script. So now, China reacted. Let's take a listen to Erdogan from Turkey. what is his reaction. And I think, in my opinion, we're gonna see some really, really intense actions that will be involving Turkey, and what they are going to do to Turkey, it also has been planned. So let's take a listen to Erdogan.
Komşumuz İran, İsrail saldırılarından sonra şimdi de toplumsal huzurunu ve istikrarını hedef alan yeni bir sınamayla karşı karşıya. Sokaklar üzerinden yazılmak istenen senaryoları hepimiz takip ediyoruz. Diyaloğu ve diplomasiyi önceleyen ince bir siyasetle İranlı kardeşlerimiz tuzaklarla dolu bu dönemi İnşallah geride bırakacaklarına inanıyoruz. Komşumuz İran.
As you can probably see, this is not the latest reaction, but this is his statement from January 20th, so a few months ago. And he says that he described the unrest in Iran as a new test for Tehran, pledging Turkey would stand against any initiative that would drag the region into chaos. But Turkey is very important because Turkey is also part of the bigger picture. I don't know if you've heard this, but let me play this for you. One of those from the tribe is telling you that Turkey is also a threat to the tribe and to the big picture.
Turkish threat is emerging. I want to be very clear. Turkey and Qatar have gained influence in Syria, are seeking influence elsewhere and everywhere throughout the region. And from here, I warn, Turkey is the new Iran. Erdogan is sophisticated, dangerous, and he seeks to encircle Israel. And while some senior Israelis were on Qatar's payroll, Qatar and Turkey are nourishing the Islamic Brotherhood monster that is growing and eventually might become as dangerous as the one created by Iran. Turkey and Qatar are gaining influence not only in Syria, but also in Gaza, through the front door, and everywhere, and trying to create a new Turkish threat.
So why this is important? It is important because here is a reminder about the plan, the big picture that the tribe has been waiting for its execution for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And as we are living, we are literally witnessing their script being unfolding at the front of our eyes, becoming tangible experience, everyone. So here is a video that is a reminder of the big picture, because some will say this is the war with China, this is about oil, this is about power dominance, this is about creating the chaos in that region. And I will say this is all about the great new Israel. I will say it again and again and again. And here is the video. Let's take a look and let's take a listen.
Here's the Greater Israel Project. Now, give a look, and you'll see little tiny Israel. They want to push to the West Bank. They want to expand into Jordan. Then they're going north. They're going north, Iraq, Syria. Then they're going to take the tip of Iran and up through Azerbaijan. Then up to Georgia, and then from Georgia little left-hand turn, Ukraine. That's the Greater Israel Project. That's the connection. That's why $8 billion just went to Ukraine. The same day, another $8 billion goes to Israel. I'm your number one.
I don't know who he is, priest, probably some kind of priest, but he just reminded us about the big picture of the great new Israel. So what countries will be involved? I think most, if not all, the countries in the Middle East. I think Turkey will definitely get involved into it. And as you know, as far as NATO goes, Turkey has the second largest, strongest army after the US. So it's not a joke as far as the military strength, I guess. Now this is also going to create a major migration issue. A lot of people will be fleeing, will be running away up north. And here is let me just find it, because I have this video here from a Russian person from, I think, about 20 years ago or so. Let me see if I have it still here, guys. Just give me a moment, I have to find it. So he predicted this like about 20 years ago. Okay, here he is. Now you're gonna hear him speak Russian, of course, but the translation is in the subtitles. So who is he? One moment. This is from 2013. Vladimir Zhirinovsky warned that tensions between the United States and Iran, I said 20 years, it's less than that. It's 13 years, but he warned that tensions between the United States and Iran could escalate into a major military confrontation, claiming that Washington might support or initiate strikes against Iran to reshape the balance of power in the Middle East. He described the potential conflict as extremely destructive, suggested it could involve massive air and missile attacks, and argued that its consequences would destabilize the region and impact global energy markets and international security, framing these remarks as a geopolitical forecast rather than referencing any confirmed operational plans. So let's take a listen. Someone says here, this guy used to be one of the top KGB analysts. He was trained by Soviet Union to analyze political future. He looked like predicting a lot of things, but he just knew how to analyze. All right, so here you can read what he says, but he will speak in Russian, of course. Pretty accurate. From 2013, Vladimir Zhirinovsky. Let me mute myself first, guys, so you don't have the echo.
Прогноз, все остальные молчат. Значит, что будет сейчас? Задавайте вопросы. Я же уеду скоро. И у вас не будет шанса узнать правильный ответ на ваши вопросы. Потом через 20 лет скажете: о, Владимир Владимирович нам тогда еще говорил, как надо было поступить. А мы не поступили. Значит, какой у них план? Еще они должны 7 стран арабских оккупировать, разгромить Сирию и силовым ударом разрушить Иран. Что в этом случае является детонатором, или вернее даже допингом? Откуда идет, как говорится, вот, напор против Ирана? Арабские страны, как бы они, силовую демократизацию, на самом деле взять под контроль все энергоносители. Потому что будущий кризис, он уже идет, собственно, он не будущий. Америке надо ослабить Китай. В случае удара по Ирану цены на нефть взлетают $200 за баррель. Китайская экономика не выдержит. И Евросоюз не выдержит. То есть ударом по Ирану Америка ослабляет Евросоюз и Китай. Но остается Россия. А как ее ослабить? Беженцы из Ирана могут двигаться только на север. На юг Сирия, проамериканский режим будет уже установлен. На юг Ирак воевали много лет, они враждуют. Только на север, тем более коридор азербайджанский.
So he highlighted the aspect as far as Russia goes, how Russia will be affected. Besides, I think Russia will get involved into it with the refugees as well. So in a nutshell, the Great New Israel project is in the making as we speak. Now, I think we're gonna end this video with a parody, but actually the facts, the truth. How Trump was saying no more wars. Yeah, wasn't he? Wasn't he? Let's take a look at this a different kind of video. And you know, it's like funny, but actually it's not anymore.
Mr. President, we can't go to war with Iran.
Why not?
You said that you'll be ending all wars, Mr. President.
I never said that. He's right, Mr. President. They started it. They really started it.
We have to end it, Mr. President.
We have the strongest military in the world. We're not going to let the Iranian regime threaten it. It's quite fascinating how strong we are.
Mr. President, in 2015, you say a strong military will stop wars. Peace through strength. Let's make America great again.
It's a different situation.
How, Mr. President?
There will be a lot of escalation, Mr. President. There's no need for that.
He's right, Mr. President. It's dangerous.
We are going to destroy their missiles. You want them to have missiles, Alejandro?
No, Mr. President.
It doesn't matter if they have them, Mr. President. You're giving them a reason to use them.
It doesn't matter. We're going to shut them very, very fast. Faster than you could sing the ABCs, probably, which I heard is a very difficult song. It's a difficult song, but I could sing it if I had the lyrics.
You say before, look at missiles flying right now in Middle East. Look at what's happening with Russia, Ukraine. None of this happened while I was president. You are president right now, Mr. President.
It's a different situation now.
The people aren't happy, Mr. President.
I'm saving them, Alejandro. I'm doing way more than any president in the history of the country.
So you're a good president for starting this war.
Absolutely.
And you would commend the president for doing this.
Absolutely.
Then why did you say, in order to get elected, Barack Obama will start a war with Iran? Barack Obama will attack Iran in order to get reelected. I predict that President Obama will at some point attack Iran in order to save face. Remember that I predicted—
It's the fakest news I've ever heard. I've never said any of those things.
It's your Twitter account, Mr. President.
I was hacked by Russians in 2015.
These are from 2012, Mr. President.
I was also hacked by Russians in 2012.
Mr. President.
Yeah, so Alejandro was really trying hard. But, you know, looking at all of this, I'm thinking to myself, are we living in some kind of Truman Show? I think it's like a Truman Show, really. What are they doing? Is this real? Is this all computer generated to manipulate our consciousness and our energy and to harvest that from us? What do you think, guys? That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your patience with me trying to find the right video to present to you. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on that? I will say my personal opinion. The reason for all of it is because of the tribe that starts with a Z, you know which one, and the Great New Israel Project, because Pax Judaica indeed is what's coming next. Thank you so much. Hit the thumbs up if you appreciate the video. If you want to support my work, the best is by ordering my books. The links are down below in the description box, or you can join me on Patreon, where I put out more triggering videos, more exclusive videos, and on locals as well, or you can simply donate on PayPal. And with this being said, lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.